If a couple's got marital problems, let's keep it real, it's probably the wife's fault. But that might seem a little bit suspicious for me to say that. A guy blaming a woman, of course. If only we had a little bit of cover, huh, guys? Maybe if we could get a woman to make that same argument. Well, I don't have one, but Fox and Friends does, in what might be the most sexist segment they've had in their many years of broadcasting. You're going to see it here in an interview with the niece of Phyllis Schlafly talking about what it is that kills marriages.
69% of divorces are initiated by the woman, and our next guest says it's because women today are groomed to lead and insist on being in charge.
And that's a problem? Suzanne Venker is the author of this book, The Alpha Female's Guide to Men and Marriage, How Love Works.
What women are struggling with, especially alpha, what I'm calling the alpha women, and you can replace that with a type A, you know, it doesn't have to be the word alpha, but that they struggle getting in touch with their feminine side.
When men and women enter a relationship, in the beginning, generally the man is the alpha and the woman is the beta.
So that's how almost all relationships start, right? You as a man make the phone call, you pick up, you pay the bill, you actually even ask the woman to marry you, right?
Unless it's the Sadie Hawkins dance. Right?
Right, unless it's Sadie Hawkins. So in that natural state, a woman is much more receptive to your energy. They're on the receiving end. And then I think what happens over time after you've been married a really long time, especially once kids come into the picture, is that women get into this mode of just, you know, sort of micromanaging everything. But if they don't switch over into wife mode, kind of back where they were when you started, I think the relationship begins to deteriorate.
So that's not the worst. We've got two more videos for you. Initial impression, and then we're going to jump into the next video.
So, Suzanne Venker has been around for a while. And I remember a few years ago, I interviewed her on a show that Meghan McCain was doing. I was her guest co-host. And it was very difficult to hold back because I think that she is insane. But more importantly, I think that she is making the mistake of assuming that one relationship dynamic is the only relationship dynamic that works, okay? First of all, this notion that a woman who is an A-type personality has a tough time, you know, really finding her feminine side or connecting with her feminine side is ridiculous. Okay, I consider myself an A-type personality. That's the reason why I do the show, and I'm as opinionated as I am. I love my husband, respect my husband. We have a great partnership. Also, I am as feminine as you can get, right? And it depends on what you mean by femininity. For me...
Well, I think she gets to define it.
Yeah, I guess she does.
For you.
So I'm trying really hard to be responsible and mature in the way that I handle this segment, and it's very difficult because I want to run my mouth. But she doesn't get to tell women or men what's appropriate in terms of gender norms in their household. Different things work for different people, and just because a woman is an A-type personality or believes in being a leader doesn't mean that she doesn't appreciate her femininity or can connect with her feminine side. That's just all mumbo jumbo from, like, I don't know, the early 1900s that no one really believes in anymore other than the right wing.
Yeah, and she's constantly talking about who's giving energy and who's receiving energy. And of course he gives off more energy. He has testosterone. So if you take a hormone in his blood, it creates a mythical energy that I'm going to use as a basis for an argument about relationships.
Yeah.
But that said, let's see another section of that interview.
So the beta becomes an alpha, and then the man becomes confused, and maybe she should be the beta?
Yes, precisely.
Okay. Give us some tips.
Yes. In order for batteries to work, you need the positive and the negative energy to go together.
Okay.
Right?
Two positives, not good.
So focus
Two
on the
negatives,
positive.
not
So the goal is to get one of each. And if you're bringing the alpha energy to the table, and he's an alpha by nature because he's got all the testosterone, you're going to be like two bulls in a china shop, right? And then if you want him to be the more feminine person in the relationship, I guess you could do that, but that usually doesn't work for most people because women are naturally feminine.
So you're alpha when you go to work, you're powerful, you're strong, you come home, and what does the husband need from the woman?
The husband needs from the woman softness instead of hardness, so happiness instead of anger, being more compliant and less dictatorial, basically not telling him what to do. I don't know how else to put it.
More compliant, less dictatorial. Now, in your response, please be compliant. Anna.
Okay.
not dictatorial.
Quick comment about the first video that I forgot to get to. So they cite a statistic. I don't know where they got the stat from. It might be accurate. 69% of women initiate the divorce. Don't get into any nuance or reasons why a woman might initiate a divorce. Like, I don't know.
She's a dictator.
Maybe. I mean, he could be having multiple affairs, cheating on her, maybe abusing her in some way, maybe isn't treating her right. They don't get into any of that. Oh my God, women are initiating divorces. We can't believe it. Look at these terrible A-type personalities. Also, the right wing is so obsessed with beta and alpha bullshit, right? Like, oh yeah, like you can only have like one strong personality and then like one weak personality.
But what about batteries?
Like,
because
then,
plus and minus,
yeah.
not 2 minus, not 2 plus.
2 minus bad, 2 plus bad, plus and minus good. Like they're like cavemen, okay? It's
hey, if you're dating a robot, that could be accurate. I'm not there yet, but I'm working on it.
It's very, very possible to have two strong-minded individuals in a relationship, okay? I would know from experience. And also, again, like, it's just this, like the idea that you always have to agree with your partner, that's insane. First of all, as a man, if you believe in this type of gender norm relationship, as a man, wouldn't you get kind of bored if a woman just agrees with everything you says and goes along with everything you says and never challenges you on anything at all?
And look, she could make a case that generally you should be more compliant. And by you, I mean men and women. Like, yes, generally be a nice force on your couple. Generally don't be a dictator. But it's that she's saying, you don't be, woman. You don't be a dictator. Edwin, if you'd like, you can be a dictator. It's cool. You're a bull in the china shop. Stop it. Stop it, woman. Yeah. But there's one more section. So we have one more video we're going to play for you. But as you watch this video, I want you to not just listen to it, but I want you to very closely watch the body language, not of the woman being interviewed, but of the 3 hosts. And I want you to compare the body language and facial expressions of the 2 men and the woman host, because I think they say more than the actual words.
You said, men are simple, not dumb. What do you mean by that?
Really important. Men are so simple to love. All they want is sex, companionship, and respect. And women are so complicated that they need a whole lot more. But they don't realize how easy it is if you tap into that femininity to get that man to be more receptive to what you want.
So simple. Like, I don't expect to hear this message from a woman because we all think it's the man's problem.
That, to me, is the problem, that we're constantly pointing fingers in the men when I'm saying we're the ones who are actually kind of the problem.
But don't you think it can be both? I mean, why is it always our fault?
Okay, so it's not so much that it's always your fault, it's that there's a dance. The male-female dance is such that the woman kind of steers the relationship boat, and men feed off of that. So if you exude really positive energy, really feminine energy, they're very responsive to that. If you're coming in with all this negativity, or not negativity, but if you're coming in with all this hardness, they recoil. They don't want it.
So we can leave our socks out, and we expect the wife just to ignore it after a while.
Maybe you should put them away and not cause a problem.
Or she needs to understand that those socks are there not because you expect her to pick them up, because you just don't see the socks or you don't care about the socks.
There you go.
So the whole time, the woman in the red dress, the host, is like, really? Should I really be hearing this? I mean, it seems like maybe sometimes the woman's problem. And the guys are like, she's onto it. And that's why she's doing it. That's why she's writing the book. The book is ostensibly to women, and maybe some women will buy it, but I think far more will have it bought for them by a man, because she's there for men, to tell men, you're right, the woman is the problem. God, if only women were like back when I was a kid in the 30s.
So there is a very lucrative business model out there for public figures. And that lucrative business model is say crazy things that will appeal to conservative men, and you will get paid handsomely. So I think Tomi Lahren is an example of that. She says the most outrageous things that she can't even back up herself, which is evident from when she does interviews on other, shows. And she has the fame that she has as a result of that, and I'm sure she gets paid handsomely for it. Suzanne Venker, I'm not even sure if she believes the crazy things that she says, because the reality is, and she's been married for 18 years, she has a career. She does these book tours. She writes these books. She obviously is not filling the role of a traditional housewife, which is what she's advocating for. So she doesn't genuinely believe what she's saying. Otherwise, and I always mention this when women like her make statements like this, otherwise, she would be in the kitchen baking a cake and shutting her mouth, because that is the traditional gender role. But that's not what she's doing, right? Instead, she's running her mouth on Fox News and talking about how women should just shut the fuck up and let a man do whatever they want and, you know, run all over her, or walk all over her. So here's the thing. Marriage is a challenging thing. Because you are now sharing your life with another person, and you share every part of your life with another person. You share your home, your bed, your finances, everything with another person for the rest of your life. And so instead of marrying someone, I'm going to give everyone better relationship advice. Instead of marrying someone and then changing yourself, your needs, and your wants in order to become more compatible with that person, how about don't get married until you find someone that you're actually compatible with, so you're not fucking miserable for the rest of your life. For Suzanne Venker, it's great to be submissive. It's great to just let your husband do whatever you want. That's a relationship dynamic that works for her. So you do you, boo, okay? But don't run around telling other women this is what your relationship should be like, okay? Because my relationship isn't like that. I actually do have a very strong husband, a fucking fine husband, okay? And I don't need her to tell me like, oh, you need to just sit back and you know, open your legs for your husband and bake him a cake, and that's it. And don't complain about his socks.
I'm getting a little bit too much hardness off of you right now. I would like a little bit of compliance, you little dictator.
And guess what? Here's another thing, okay? I'm a strong woman, but I also love when someone puts me in my place when I'm wrong, right? That's a sign of strength.
I just tried to right there.
Right, you failed.
Because you're too hard, damn it.
But I just, again...
2 bowls in a china shop. So, hold on. One of the general thing, and look, Suzanne Venker, she is... on Fox, you got the woman who comes in and says women are the problem. You've got people who are there as representatives, supposedly, of the African-American community to tell you all the problems with that community. They've got various types of that. Ann Coulter's made her whole career on that, telling you that women shouldn't be allowed to vote and everything. Because the average viewer, as Anna pointed out, is a guy older than your grandpa in a nursing home, an old white man. And he misses the 30s, and he wants it back, and he wants people to tell him that he's right and they're wrong. But generally... I've done videos for Think Tank that are like dating advice and relationship advice, and I have always said there is absolutely no reason that you should listen to me on this, because it's really weird that there's experts of everything. There's millennial experts and experts on home, like car repair and everything. Relationships and sex are the only thing where you don't have to demonstrate that you know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
You can say you're an expert. You didn't really have to go to school. You don't have to do anything. You can write articles for Cosmo about sex positions. Nobody knows if you're a virgin or not. You get to just say this is what a relationship should be like. I think we should go and interview all of their exes and see what they were really like in relationships. And why is it that their relationships aren't the happiest things in the world if they're the experts that they say that they are?
Yeah, you know what happens in relationships? You date someone, you get to know one another, you realize that you have different interests, different outlooks on life, different perspectives.
They
maybe
catch you a few times.
Maybe it doesn't work out, and you move on to someone that you are compatible with, okay? So to assume that all women should have the exact same personality and all men should have the exact same personality, and that's the only way that relationships will last, is absolutely absurd, okay? There are bad actors in every relationship. It doesn't matter what the gender is. There are cases where women mistreat men, cases where men mistreat women. That's the reason why you have individuals filing for divorce. Also, people just get married sometimes when they shouldn't get married, or they're not ready to get married. It's actually a lot more challenging than what, romanticized Hollywood movies would have you believe. And so stop judging everyone. Get out of everyone's life. I know that that's, the business model that this woman has banked on for her career, but her opinions don't matter. And at the end of the day, different things work for different people.
Have you ever seen old clips of the Young Turks? Some are great, some are disastrous. We do all those and then pick them apart at TYT Classics. It's a hoot and a holler. Come join us, tytnetwork.com/join.